live stream today.
Hello and welcome to Cockitude. Cockatoos with attitude. There's one with attitude right there. Bob.
What a cute bubbly Bob.
Hi, everybody. And hello, all those people who are working for the man and can't make it and have to be here later. Bob, you going to clean my shoes for me? I see I missed a spot.
That would be great. Babaloo the cleaner bird.
He was really hungry this morning, so he was a total pest. Just yelling, Babaloo, Babaloo, Bob.
You really should do an audio from that.
That's easy. It happens not every morning, but a lot of the mornings when he is just hungry, and he hasn't learned that when he,
I love when he's talking English.
He's just Babaloo, Bob, Babaloo.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Bob, there are other birds here. No, there aren't. I'm the only bird. Right, Bob?
Oh, Bob. So the first chatter arrived. It's Tiki Tiki. So hello. Good to see you.
Hello.
We are half an hour earlier than usual because later the birds have a vet appointment. Vet is coming by.
Yeah, gonna do take blood from 10 birds to check to see if they have AGN. So might as well find out ahead of time, right? You don't want to find out when it's too late. So.
And I wanted to say before you started the intro that I'm not sure how many people dare to come in with that thumbnail we have today. Done as Nurse Ratchet.
Yeah. Well, I had to give Ansio the other day too, so. Which is always fun, isn't it, Cecil? You like it when I stick a needle in you, right? You don't think that's fun? No, he doesn't think so. He's sitting on me. I have to flip the camera. Oops, darn it.
Camera?
Yeah, well, the buttons for the camera and the button to switch the camera
but it
are right
starts
next
with a pink fluffy bot. Is that our Mander? He cannot whack you from up there. But he's cute.
Yeah. He's upset with me because he doesn't want to use his water bottle. He knows how, but he doesn't want to, so.
He knows exactly how. Once when I'm babysitting via the phone and basically see Manda over the camera, so when Don leaves the room or so, within 1 minute or so, he can use the Slixit bottle 3 times. So he knows exactly how to use it.
He just prefers to have the water dish, which he's allowed to have it for a half an hour when he dunks his food, and after that, no more. So
Miss Lucy Bird is alert and here. So welcome, Lucy. Good to see you. Often you hide during the live streams. I think they are surprised because of the time. I think they know exactly when it's time for a live stream and that you are early.
I think they do.
I think that's why Lucy is over. She's like, "What are you doing?"
This girl. So Romeo was giving me these, since we had to come out here early, he was giving me the slowdown thing. He would come out, but he was going to take his time. I didn't have time for that. Probably would have taken about 10 minutes to get him out of his cage, and I didn't have time today, so. And unfortunately, our vet appointments are from 2 to 5. So just straight through, just doing blood on all these birds. So that is going to mean he's not going to get out to the aviary today.
So Falcon Zoo joined us, so welcome.
Hi, Falcon
She's
Zoo.
greeting you and the feathered rascals and all the other chatters. Amanda, are you a rascal? A little bit. Lucy.
Hey, Manor. That Lucy girl. What you doing, Lucy? What's up, Lucy?
Standing in Manda's way.
Pretty much, yeah. He won't go by her.
Nope. Everybody respects the Lucy. Maybe not Jasmine, but Jasmine is like, she walks over birds like nobody else.
Like they're not there.
Yeah,
See, and
it's
imagine.
really like for Jasmine, there are no obstacles.
Funny
Is
how they're
that
spread out now.
that should
See how
be?
there's.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sugar all the way. That's where she likes to sit. She likes that far spot for some reason. I mean, she'll come up here later, but that's where she likes to start the day.
Interesting. So Shuggy and Snowball watching the shepherd. Ah, sweet. And now they really have space to move. And looks like even Manda is using it, which is good. Watching outside.
Yeah, there's definitely logic to the way I did it. Because at each end, the ropes are not, these ropes are not connected to anything on the ends. So to get to them, they either have to crawl or fly. So they either gotta go crawl, walk, or fly, one way or the other. They got it, but they can't just go over. So that gives
and
the
birds
birds that
like
want.
Pippa and so use it to fly, actually.
She's
I guess
not in
Lone
here.
Lad probably as well. She's a flyer.
Oh boy, yeah, she definitely uses it to fly. And there's two paths. There's the upper flight area and the lower flight path as well. So if they need to get away from each other, they can either dive down or go up. And that's, I can't believe I thought of that. I had to reason it out. What's the best way to do this? And now there's a little group down there.
Is Jasmine also there?
3 Moluccans and 1 voyeur.
Snowball is so cute. He has such a big fascination for the pink birds. So Frankie Persian has joined us. So hello and welcome.
Hello. Yeah, it's fun this morning getting ready for the veterinarian. Getting the veterinary. I found, they have work tables, right, that you can raise up and lower down and all that. And if you look at the veterinary sites, they start at 700, and that's for one that mounts on the wall. And so, with a little work with the AI friend, came up with the idea of using one of these mobile trays they use. Which is basically it's a table that's on wheels that you move around. I took the wheels off of this one I bought. It's really strong, stable, solid steel. I mean, I'm really impressed with it. And it also doesn't have a bar across the bottom. The bar goes off instead of being through the center, it goes off way in the back so that you can step up to it and your feet don't bump against the bar. So that's not why it was designed like that, but it's perfect. So $70 instead of like 1,500. And it's perfect. It's for working with birds, it's just the right size. But I had to get that whole room ready. So that's why we're talking about the what you need to teach your bird about being around a vet. And then the number one thing you got to do with that is desensitize them to being at the vet. So the first time Cecil went to see Dr. Jam, she gave him an injection and then they did x-rays. So the next time I took him, he's looking around like, what are they going to do to me today? He wasn't overly thrilled about it, but I just calmed him down, and
They
he was
remember.
just there for a fecal exam. So it was no biggie. He just made a few friends and left, but you have to desensitize them to going to vet. So if the vet's not too far from you, you can just let the vet office know you're going to bring your bird in and just sit there for a little while and leave. You do that a couple of times, and then when you go into the veterinary office, the bird's going to be like, oh, nothing. That's one thing you can do. The other thing is the veterinary behaviors, and I believe that Barbara Heidenreich has an ancient thing called a DVD, which actually describes that whole process. But basically, you have to teach them to be able to do everything the vet wants them to do. So, what does a vet usually do? Well, they'll open the wings, they look down the throat, they may turn them upside down for a fecal exam. Um, they palpitate here and there. They put a stethoscope on them. Yeah, buy a stethoscope. Get a cheap one, even if it's a toy one, and use it to get them used to the idea, which I didn't do. I have a stethoscope, but I only use it rarely. So as soon as they saw the stethoscope, they got a little bit nervous. So desensitize them to that. And then you have to teach them to open their wings when you want them to, which I use the technique that I learned from Animal Training 101. So basically, I use targeting. When I touch the wing a certain way, they put it out. So I can get one wing or two wings up that way, no problem, and they're used to it. It's something they're used to seeing. I flip them over regularly, so they're used to being flipped. So it's not a big deal for them. I remember somebody did that to Chloe, and Chloe was not familiar with being flipped at the time. She flipped out about that. She was really unhappy. So if you can do it and get them used to it, you can start slowly. Flip them a little bit. Don't flip them all the way over, just part of the way. Cecil, I don't think I can do this with my hand. But
So let's welcome Jem and Jamie. Hello, good to see you.
hi,
And
Jam and Jamie.
Falcon commented, your vet must be really impressed with your home setup.
She never said anything about it. She did talk about the birds, saying how well behaved the birds were.
Yeah,
But,
probably is
she
impressed
had a
by a
lot.
lot of things.
At the time, she had 12 birds to do, so it was general exams on all 12. So,
Or Cecil, look at you, handsome. And also Babalu is doing some really cool stunts back there, preening. Babalu is so cool when he preens. It's always some kind of artistic performance.
yeah, I've got the cinnamon sticks sitting out, and I forgot to bring them out again. Well, they're sitting by the door. They'll be out here tomorrow. Just had to run to get things done. I had to sanitize the exam room again because it's going to
So
have
Cecil
12 birds in
basically
it.
doesn't like the wet yet.
Yeah, he feels better about it after the last one, but I made sure that he got to talk to other people there and felt comfortable before he left. So that's the main thing.
What about the other birds? Which bird likes the wet the most?
I think they all just kind of tolerated the vet. I don't remember anyone taking any particular liking to her. Just treating her like, oh, here's somebody to poke and prod me. Okay, we're used to that. So
I thought maybe Babalu is excited about having someone visiting or Amanda baby.
you notice how with this targeting, just using my finger, he lifts his wing. That's a learned behavior. And if I massage his beak, I can open it. See, so you can see down it. I'm not going to open it all the way, but you can. So they're going to do that. They're going to go up and down the body and do this. They're going to feel it to see if there's any organs that are. I think you can feel if some of the organs are too big. He really had a problem up here in his upper chest area from the liver, but it's not so bad now. It's not so prominent. Which probably means because it's reducing that quickly that it was AGN causing it. So that's a good sign because the medicine works, doesn't it? Yeah, they've got to be able to touch around their eyes. And, some birds, if you start touching things like touching feet or touching eyes, you've got to make sure your bird will allow you to touch everywhere. And it's got to be a regular thing. So if you examine your bird at least once a week, probably better more than that, but at least once a week, they get used to the idea they're going to be poked, prodded, touched, and it doesn't bother them. Does it, Cecil? He acts like, what? This is all normal. So with teaching them something like this, it's not a bad idea. The best way, of course, is to have a little container with some treats in it. And best it's not in the line of vision, although it doesn't matter because they like doing things for you. So you you would just kind of lift up the wing by hand, okay, and then give them a treat, and then eventually just touch with your finger, and they'll do it. Why are you making me lift my wing? Okay, I'm done with this. That's enough of that. And then you've got to get them to allow you to examine their eyes. And that's just by touching around their eyes mostly. Because the vet's going to look down their throat. And that's not as hard as it seems. You just want to kind of massage on the side of their beaks. That's the signal to open their beak. And when they do that, then you just give them a little treat. And eventually you can get them to, I'm not going to do it to him right now because no point in it, but you can get them to open it wide and then you can hold it open because you got your fingers in the right position. So if your vet has a different way of doing it, then you can explain how you do it. So if the vet repeats that, it'll work for the vet. So you get to use a little ABA on your vet. You don't want to get bit? Here's how you do it. That's negative reinforcement. But the main thing is desensitizing them. That's where you really have to work with it. Now, some birds are nervous about having you touch their toes, so you've got to make it so that because the bird's going to examine the feet, they're going to look for bumblefoot or anything going wrong. Any of the pads, like Cecil has that one overgrown callus.
Cecil. I thought it's Snowball.
That's what I meant to say. I said Cecil. Yeah, Snowball hi Snowball. He's got the callus. He's also got one foot that looks darker than the other because the emu oil does tend to spread up the foot, so makes that foot look darker.
Stylish bird.
Now, for something like a callus, that works well, but you have to be able to work with the feet. If you can't work with their feet, how are you? I know a lot of people who want to take their bird in to do their nails and everything, but what does that mean? It means you can't work with their feet. So that means when they go to the vet, they're not going to want to be touched. I mean, you have to at some point start working with it. It doesn't mean you have to get crazy. Just touching their feet, just like that. Do this every day. Touch a foot, touch a foot. During the day, just keep touching their feet. Eventually, they're going to get used to it. So a little more complicated when you're talking about opening the beak. that kind of thing. But then you might want to bait them, letting them know that you have a treat for it. But basically, the vet's going to do the same. If you go through the usual sequence that a vet will go through, then they're going to be used to it. So when I'm doing their exams, first thing I will do is I'll pet their head a little bit, and then I'll open their beak. Okay, and look inside. Then I look at each eye to make sure there's no problem with the eyes. So that means I turn their head a little bit, usually using their beak to turn it. And then I'll feel to see that there's no kind of growths or there's no abscesses on around the neck, because this is an area they can't actually feel. So I'll check to make sure everything's growing in normally. And sometimes the follicles will come in and there'll be like a fat spot where something's going wrong down there, and you want to find out early on. So then once I've checked the neck, I'll start moving down to feel across the chest. Right, and then I'll do the wings. I know, you're gonna do that for me. I open the wings and get them all the way out. Want to get your wing out for me? There we go.
Oh, what a good boy.
Yeah, and go all the way down
He's
the body, touching it. Check the feet. Get them to lift their feet. Look underneath. I'm not going to do it right now, but because
somehow Cecil, to me, he looks suspicious, like he knows something is coming.
he's like, why are we doing an exam out here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the last thing I do is flip them over. So
They probably know the name or the word vet and know that something is coming, especially Cecil, because he's greeted, "Hi, Papa Lou." Oh, that was a sweet greeting, wasn't it?
Bob.
Out to boys.
So if I can do this with 12 birds, you can do it with one or two, right? Right. Get them in the habit. So when you go to the vet, they're not going to. Now, if you've got a bird that's got a real problem and you take them to the vet and they're nervous at the vet, it's just going to make it harder for them. You don't really want them to be afraid they're going to be killed when someone's trying to help them. So, because that can, it could cause a heart attack in an older bird. And stress can bring out AGN. So you want them to be as calm around the vets. You want them to be as, I forget where I got this reference, but as calm as Hindu cows. Because they don't kill cows, right? If I have to explain that. So that's really the basics. That's what you do. And give yourself a little time. Teach them each. You can start at the top and work your way down so that you're going to get to the flipping later, or during the day you can try flipping them, and you can try getting them to raise their wings at different times. Right, Bob?
Look at these two cute boys preening each other. Fabulous.
Just to show that it isn't just one bird that knows that behavior. Okay. Whatever bird was in my lap was the one who was going to be the example. So, the other thing you do when you're doing an exam is you check to make sure that there's no. When I'm doing this, I'm also looking to see if there's any feathers that need to have that sheath taken off. You need to preen that because they can't reach it. He's doing it for me right now, but. And of course, the end result is your bird is a calmer bird. And we know that avian ganglioneuritis is stimulated, and the virus that's in the body is stimulated to move down the nerve if they're stressed. So you want to get them so that they're not stressed by handling. And then if you've got somebody that you can use as a victim, I mean a volunteer, to start doing some of these behaviors with your bird, then they're used to somebody who's not you doing it, so it makes it even better. So go through the basic exam on them. Of course, the other parts of the exam are checking their poop, making sure they're eating the right food, that kind of stuff. But
Wir machen heute diesen saftigen Nuggel.
Sorry.
that was interesting.
There plopped something up. I have just stopped for the live stream. Oh my.
So I hope that all makes sense. Desensitizing is the most important thing, and then you want to go through all the different veterinary steps with your bird, so they'll be familiar with them. Usually in the U.S., when you go in for a kid goes in for their first exam, they aren't prepped for it. We're going to the doctor, and then they get there, and here's this guy all dressed up in a white coat. The place smells like alcohol. I mean, everything says foreign, foreign. So the kids get really stressed. You have a lot of kids, but with birds, I mean, it's even worse because they don't have any clue what's going on. So get them used to other people, get them used to those behaviors. Did that movie quote show up there? I don't see it.
Nope. No movie quote.
I made one.
I look under the banner.
I just turned it on. Somebody ought to get this one. Badges, we don't need no stinking badges.
That sounds to me similar to budgies.
Similar. Similar.
Badges, budgies, yeah.
It doesn't tell me how many people actually made it today because we did start early. So I did.
8 viewers on YouTube.
Yeah, figured it'd be a little less. Even though I put out the notification a day early, that's not usually enough to get to everybody. But this is the only time they're going to get out because I got to once we're done with this, I have to get them in and I have to finish arranging things so that we can get these birds blood tested. So with any luck, nobody else will come up with it, but
that would be awesome.
Yeah, I know somebody who came up with a positive. If you get under 200 is negative, over 200 is positive with no signs, over 300 is, that's, there's physical signs of what's going on when you're over that. Well, this person got one at 227, I think, which indicates that that bird should be on Onsior. But, it's like, well, there's no physical signs. You're going to wait for those? Okay.
So we have the first guess for the movie quote. From Falcon Zoo, she's guessing the treasure of the Sierra Madre.
Yep, that's it.
Awesome.
Another Bogart fan. Let me get the poop off my sleeve here. Bob. Don't mess with me, Bob.
Oh, that's an old movie. Oh.
Not that old. Not black and white.
It's from 1948.
Yeah, but old is when they weren't when you had.
Yeah, okay. It's like when I would refer to old stuff from the 80s, which I sometimes do.
Yeah, like the 80s are old. Yeah.
Looks like a movie I have to watch. What's it in German?
Could you stake a fellow American to a meal?
Sorry?
And I was quoting a line from the movie. Could you stake a fellow
All right.
American to a meal? Yeah.
You know, I like good old westerns. So that is not, how shall I, an attribute, a negative attribute when I refer to a movie as old. That is
I don't.
usually like old equals good.
Okay, guys, if you're gonna poop on me, why don't you do it all at once? Good grief.
Would that be a punami?
Pretty much. Ouch. I banged
That
my.
was flat, wasn't it?
Okay, who? No, this has gotten to be too much. I'm down on the arm of the chair. Are you guys determined to get as much poop as you can out here in an hour, or what? Yeah, then they're going to torture you for the rest of the day. We should put horror movies on for you. No, put calm movies
Mm-hmm.
on today. Calm movies for the birds. Won't matter with Romeo because he's just going to freak out no matter what I do. But I was hoping he'd come out so he'd be calmer. But you know,
He already senses that something is coming.
I had to make birdie bread last night, so that was an hour of my time taken out where I could have prepped for today. But we were down to the last of it, so I had to. What are you doing down there, looking so calm? Are you pretending to be an umbrella? Hmm?
Toot, 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 toot.
Bob. Bob.
What a cutie. Look at that Bob.
Yeah, I've heard some horror stories from veterinarians about people who brought their birds in that weren't prepared for being at the vet.
The Moluccans have come over. Look at them lining up. So sweet. Oh, if I just could take a photo of that, would make awesome photo for the calendar. The heads together.
Gives the totally wrong impression, though. I mean,
That's the
these
totally wrong impression, indeed. But it's sweet how they sit next to each other, the aunties.
Yeah, I took a picture. Can't believe it. I took a picture of that. So
Oh, that's cool.
I didn't expect it to, but it did.
Yeah. Sugar says
Yes.
we are ready for the cover.
Yeah, Dr. Young, when I first saw him, and it was with Bob because Bob, this is like 13 years ago, but he said, "Well, I'm going to have to tell him because I'm going to have to flip him over." And I said, "Really?" So I flipped him over and put him in one hand and handed him over to the doc. And he's like, "Okay, I guess I don't
Have
have
you
to
already
tell him."
flipped the bird? No, no, you can't because you have to hold the camera.
It all depends on what you mean by that, but yeah, I could probably flip Bob with one hand, but he's over there. When he comes back, I'll see if I can flip him with one hand. He may not let me. He may not let me. He does prefer the two hand flip, but Sugar will, but she doesn't like it. She's not fond of being flipped over. You can do it when you have to. which is like on her exams, but it's the only time I do it to her.
Mm.
Right, Shug? It's just beneath your queenly status.
Mm-hmm.
What what
Definitely.
are, what are you doing over here?
Oh,
Next to
Amanda
Lucy.
has come.
Next
So
to
the
Lucy,
Maloney trio is complete.
he's gonna try to come over and he can't get around that plastic, so either has to go down on the ground or Bob is on a
Oh no,
case.
what have I said? Well, YouTube now censor video because Falcons is also laughing at my comment, don't flip in the bird.
Well, I do flip them on their back, so
Mhm.
sure, Bob. You got something in your beak. You want to step up? No. Oh, there's that first one. He doesn't want to come up. Well, he probably figures if I'm asking him to come up, it's not something good.
Oh no.
Bob, what
I
are you
just
doing?
I just Googled it.
Ah,
Ah,
all
okay.
right.
Got it. Nobody is flipping the bird here.
No, I'm not going to put. Well, you want to go on my lap? All right, come here. All right, if you want to be on my lap, I don't believe it, but it's a little hard to believe that he wants to be on the lap. Yeah, baby. He's one you have to be gentle when you flip him over because he has that. His pelvis is twisted, but the person who had him was making him do all kinds of tricks that were a stress on his back. Sit-ups, that's a good one for him. Yeah. Don't think that's good exercise for him. Playing dead too. That wasn't so bad, but yes, I know you know what that means. Yeah, I had this is a fun story. And if you will sit up there just a little longer, I had this one sitting on my shoulder, and then Pippa came down. I didn't think anything of it. She and Pippa don't get along, so um, so Pippa went after her, and I tried to stop Pippa. And I'll tell you, when somebody bites the skin on your head, it doesn't really hurt that much. It's the crunch that bothers you. It's that crunching sound because it's really a bone crunch. You can. She nailed me good. Of course, it doesn't take much. And she was just trying to go after Jasmine. I was the last thing in the world she wanted to hurt, but so it's a no brainer, and that's one of the reasons I sit here. Is it's less likely that I'll have two birds that will fight each other on my shoulders, but
So Jocelyn Trickle just joined us and is greeting you, Don, and the flock.
hello, Jocelyn. Where are you going? Jasmine, do you know what you're doing? Hmm? Yeah, he will preen sometimes, but you're kind of begging for trouble when you go over to a Triton and ask to be preened. Any port in a storm for this girl. Yeah, the Barbara Heidenreich video on veterinary exams, training your bird from veterinary exams is good. I actually learned to do it before I saw that video, but it does cover the most of the basics. There's a few things that aren't in there, but still, the techniques are good. She does use applied behavior analysis. So. It's a big fancy word for knowing how to observe behavior, determine what the purpose of the behavior is, why they're doing it, and then finding a modification that fits their profile so that they're having just as much fun doing something else. Or also, if they're doing something you really like, establishing that as a normal behavior. So that's really what it's all about. And the more control these guys have of their environment, the less chance they're gonna suffer from psychological problems, which we now know can cause severe physical problems as well. You know, Mander, that's not where I want you, and you're not going to do it. No, I don't want you up there. Come on. No. Mander. I got to move.
Mander.
He's climbed up behind me. Okay, you're going to go over there? That's all right. He's learning that something I don't like. He moved, so I'll pet him. Getting a reward for the right behavior is getting petted. When he gets behind me, he has this tendency. He's been doing this since I first met this dude. If you don't want to show your tail end to him, because it doesn't matter whether you're a bird or a human, he tends to go after tails. So if the back of your head is there, he's going to whack it with his beak. Not going to hurt you, but right now it probably wouldn't feel too good. That's a fun one too, trying to put superclot on a wound that's under your hair where you can't see. That's and we don't have the propriosensors to tell us exactly where we are. When you touch your back and the back of your head, you're not getting the actual location. So worse on the back, but the head's got some of that issue as well. So you have to spread a whole bunch of that stuff around an area, and then you have a big clot of stuff in your hair, right, big boy? I remember the first time Mander went to the vet with me. And I've been working with him too, but he had some trauma from being at vets before. And he'd been to this one particular vet after a bad incident in his life. I won't go into the details, but so when he saw Dr. Young, he just like, I'm not doing this. And he leapt out of my arms and went right around the bottom of the floor of the exam room, around and around and around, kind of looking like Jasmine when she does the runaround.
I once had a budgie flying 5-minute circles in the vet's room. Yep. Was like, look, vet, I'm not sick at all. Well, he wasn't not really sick. It was more like, looking at his claw and stuff like that.
Be nice, be nice. Good boy, Bob.
Mander,
Good boy.
Did you run at the vet's office? Silly boy. And Jasmine found somebody to preen.
I wasn't sure he was going to do it, but I told him to be nice. And you never know with him how long nice will last, but...
Nope.
But he does do it. Yeah, some of the other things to look for, which you need to work into your exams so that they're comfortable, but also Range of motion. How far can you move the foot back and forth? Does it start to look like they pull away? They start pulling away from you when you do that, but they're normally calm about the feet. That may be a problem. So you can find things out just by moving their legs or their wings, getting their wings out. Explore your bird. And when the vet does it, it's not so big a deal. Yes, I'm still petting you. You're a good bird. There's someone who's having a great time. He's got 18 feet that he can go back and forth on now. So
Spider birdie.
yeah.
Or snowball. Now he can be really sporty. Oh, Amanda. Has the snowball followed you, Moluccans?
He just wants to look at you. He's not interested in bothering you.
That's Manda. He doesn't really believe in that.
Everybody's out to get me. Hi, Snowball. Hey, boy. What a good bird you are. What a good bird. Bob, be nice. She about worn out her welcome. Okay, that's it. He's done. He's done. Move. He's done. You need to move. Jasmine, you never can figure this out for yourself. So. No, he's done. I can tell he's done. No, leave him alone. No, you don't get it. Next step is putting his foot out, and then after that, he'll start pretending he's going to bite you. So stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Leave it. Okay, that's it. I'm going to put you up on the ropes. Go up here. Lucy, put the fear of bird into her. Hi, Snowball. All right. Question: who directed that movie? Another little clue: he played a bit part in the movie as well, kind of like Hitchcock used to do. Bogart was hitting him up for change for a meal. I didn't actually pay much attention to directors until I met my second wife. So she had a thing about memorizing actors and actresses and directors and set directors and you name it, which I'm glad for now because I'll see a movie and it'll say directed by John Landis and I'm going, well, I'm watching that. Yeah. But the average movie goer will go, John who?
Hi, Snowbird.
Snowbird, Snowball, Snowbird. John Huston is the director of The Treasure of the Sierra Madre. The director. In what movie were the actors involved having trouble with these little creatures sticking to their legs? Little black vampire sticking to their legs. They actually, during the filming, they had leeches get on them and they had to have them removed. Snowball, do you know the answer?
What a cutie.
No takers on the answer to that one, huh? Bogart and Hepburn. Throughout most of the movie, it was just Bogart and Hepburn.
Bob, are you filling Don's tanks again? Or is he still busy with the pockets?
He's on the side of me for some reason. I'm not sure what he's doing.
Falcon Sue says the African Queen.
That's right.
Awesome.
Another movie where you get to see the acting ability of both of those two actors really play it. But they were actually in some pretty nasty areas in the forest when this was going on, with bugs eating them alive and leeches on them. And there's a scene where they're taking leeches off of Bogart's leg. It was real. They were real leeches, and they were really on his leg. But it wasn't in the original script, I don't think. I'm not sure of that. Yeah, it's a much calmer place, isn't it?
Shuggy?
Hi, Shuggy.
Huge. You look huge.
Are you a big bird? Are you a big bird? I hate to take you guys. It turned out to be a beautiful day. They were threatening it to be really cold today, and it's not. So I thought that I was going to have my little heater on all the time, but just putting my hand in my pocket's been good enough. I know, sweetheart. I know. She's flagging her tail at me. Pat my beak. Pat my beak. So everybody's ready to go to the vet. Good. Okay. We got all that straightened out. Yeah, when we first got here, we were told there were no vets that would see birds. So we went the first year and a half with no help at all, except a couple of times I drove all the way to Vegas to see somebody there. And that's not a kind of drive I like to do. That place is insane. I'm not a big city guy. Yawn? Are you yawning? You are? Okay. I wasn't sure if he was making a statement or if she was yawning. You missed me. Cecil, you missed me. He wasn't thinking about me at the time. They all look calm. They don't realize they're going to have to go back in shortly. It's just hate to do that to them. She's not supposed to be here to two, but I suppose I could leave them out a little bit longer. But the thing is, and she's going from house to house. Some of those calls may be quicker than what she planned. So they're supposed to call me if they're going to get here early. So
Turkey.
I guess I'll keep them out for another half an hour. What do you think, Bob?
So welcome, Bhakti Ashar. And thank you so much, Jem and Jamie, who just donated $40 and saying good luck to the vlog with the vet today. So thank you so much for that.
Oh, thank you, Jam and Jamie. Audio clips. There we go. Thank you very much. What do you say? You say thank you? Oh, cause for the first time yesterday, she actually said in the coming back from going to pick up 19 5-gallon containers of water, she said, "Hi, cockatoo."
Oh,
Just as clear as day. She hasn't said that in so long. So her voice is working again.
that are excellent news and shows that the treatment actually works. That's excellent.
Yep. Well, apparently her her syrinx was affected just like her eyes. So
Yeah, poor
because
Cosby.
it wasn't even squawking. So I mean, when we started the process, so makes you feel better when you go in there with the needles and wash your hands and set up the table and start giving injections. So. Teach you a song over there, Cecil. Me and my shadow. He's got a shadow. He's got a shadow. Jasmine, what are you doing? What's going on, Jazz?
She's a Moluccan in need.
She's doing her Hunchback of Notre Dame
Yes.
imitation. Kind of hard to stuff things into my pants in this chair, isn't it? Mm-hmm. I fixed the old broken chair I had, so. Well, thank you, Amy, for being here and doing the moderation. And thank you, everyone, for coming a little bit early for us today. I think I will give them a little more time out, though.
Yeah, thanks everybody for coming by and watching the birds and supporting us. Thank you, Don, for showing us the birds. Even the vet comes, and it's a little bit more stressful today for you.
Just a little. And, can you tell? And thanks for the super chat. Much appreciated. We are out of here. I'm going to sit here with a little while and give them a little time. So goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
We don't need no stinking
Do not flip
badges.
the bird to the vet.
No.
Science knowledge only adds to the excitement, the mystery, and the awe of a flower.
Evidence is evidence. It's public. Everybody can look at the evidence and assess it, and eventually, if there's enough evidence, come to the same conclusion.
The Chloe Sanctuary for Parrots and Cockatoos, a non-profit charity dedicated to the empowerment of captive parrots and public awareness.